so let's go ahead and go over these live chart or earnings charts, excuse me. I'm gonna go ahead and start down the list with Rivian. And I know there's some other
I think
stocks.
it's been dumping too.
Yes, it definitely has. So 1, 2, 3. Do we have empty space? Where's our floor? Our floor is here. So this is Rivian short underneath 10, 11. That's kind of where it's heading right now. Underneath you is structure here. And that is empty space down to 936. So potential earnings target down would be 936. If it shoots the gap, maybe you end up seeing a 750. So, I don't. I guess I'd have to look back. Yeah, earnings. Yeah, actually, hold on. All right, earnings didn't do really much. Earnings dumped. Earnings didn't do really anything. Kind of a dump. And then this is just some outlandish shit. Of course, always. Yeah, that's all they are basically. Um, future guidance company. Underneath $10, so again, this doesn't really provide like a super great target. Anything above, I'd say $13 because it would be squeezing through the structure here. All right, so that's Rivian. ANET, which I feel like I've charted this one before. I'll take a look at it. Well, there's definitely empty space. There's resistance. You're sitting outside of it. Looks like straightforward target on earnings is 287.77 with a potential target of 295.50. And this company rips. It looks like earnings is actually quite a great catalyst for it. Look at that. It punches through boxes. This one dumps. It's not a terrible earnings play setup. I mean, again, I'm not looking at the contracts, but I imagine these are probably relatively expensive. Um, Counter argument here is there is a gap down below, and you are at a technical downtrend. So in the same breath, if you were to drop below that 273, I think you got that 260 target, and then maybe even 252. So, all right. So ANET, we've got Upstart as well. Now, Upstart has a plethora of empty space, and everything about this company stock is just doesn't look good. A lot of empty space, but just doesn't typically carry the intraday movement. It seems like earnings does typically give a pretty intense reaction. So I don't think it's the worst. It seems like this, yeah, relatively strong dump here. So let's look at the structure we have here. That's sitting at cost basis. That's 26.25. You've got a box down below. That's here. Cost basis below is 22.72. Leg down level is 20.50. So that's a potential target to the downside. To the upside, I think you would shoot the cost basis through, and then at $32 would be the first target for me to the upside for Upstart. On earnings, I will take a look at the contracts really quick. And those are expensive. How high are the fucking, what was the IV? Jesus Christ, 286%. Not worth it. Yeah, not worth it. IV is crazy. That's if it doesn't absolutely rip ass, you're gonna get IV crushed. Win. Empty space. Floor. That's 98, 91. If you got structure up above. Empty space here. You're punching what it looks like through a box. So there is a potential leg up. I'd say first target in balance, second target 105. That's to the upside. It's tough to see. I'm not seeing downside like signals here. Just the fact that you jolted up like this kind of gives away that there's a potential here. Yeah, I guess the structure you're bouncing off of was right there. So your next leg down would probably be around 88.30, but if that's only if you're trying to hedge that trade. And this might give away. Yeah, 102.50 is my earnings target for win. Let's see. How's win contracts? Um, yeah, they're okay. They don't move very good. Their IV is not crazy, but so they're 53 bucks. 102s are. And then surprisingly, yeah, 90s aren't bad at all. So those are pretty far out of the money, but that's empty space below you to 91. So you do 91s or 90s if you wanted to. I don't think this is something. I think I like the empty space up above it, and if anything, I would want 105. So I might grab a few 105s. I'm not gonna spend a whole lot of money, guys. Not on that kind of setup. Let's see, earnings reaction, pretty strong. Pretty strong. Yeah. Yeah. Not bad. Could be better. All right. Next one, lift. Oof. Structure here. Empty space to there. That's a perfect fucking confluence. Target 1345 to the downside potential. There's your channel down. And any you might be in an uptrend here, but you're in a downtrend in a lower time frame. Punchback possible there. And that actually, the rejection 1765 is the floor that you would need to recover in order to go back up and move to the first target, which would be at 1945. So that's your two targets. And I imagine that lift would probably present an okay opportunity. I know on earnings they can do okay. They got to be dying, dude. There's no way. Who uses lift anymore? What did I 13, 14? Yeah, those are 25 fucking bucks, dude. Those are, throw a little bit at that. I guess for protection to the upside, I'll probably go to the weekly. The price target's 2045. First target out there is 23. So probably go with 23s, just a few of them. A little biased to the downside on that one. All right, moving on. We've got Oxy. Beautiful. Okay, Oxy. Right now, downside target is 6150. Upside target is a straightforward 7426. 24-hour. Yep. Analysis 6131, median right there. 74, 72. Yeah, like you said, that's not terribly expensive, but how does it react on earnings? Okay. Yeah, it doesn't react at all. So that's a long position, probably not, or like a expiration wise. You probably want some time on that to have that play out. So Twilio's the next. Hold on. $70 contracts. So I think we just talked about that with PharmaDoc. Yeah, I mean, we did just talk about the PharmaDoc. So 70 is the target, and maybe you break down trend, but that next target would be 72.18. To the downside, you're just right above this structure, so I'd be looking for a 56.50 or maybe a drop all the way to $50. So honestly, there's a lot of empty space down below you. I'm gonna grab some 50 puts just in case, because I'm only getting a couple to the upside, but they're a buck. So all right, next one is, yeah, Confluent. We did this one. Toast. Now Toast looks pretty cool. Weekly con are set up here. You're directly there. You got empty space, kind of all the way down to 1860s. So $18.50s or 16. So that's the first strike that comes to mind down. 19s also, or anything in between where the floor is at right now and there. And then above you, the first target outside of it is 2760, which, let's see. I mean, personally, I think it should go to the 3365s. And those are pretty, I mean, they don't even have contracts for those. So you could probably get 3250s if you wanted for really cheap, or go close to 30, whatever fits your fancy there. Again, you would just want to see a really strong reaction off of earnings. And Toast doesn't really have the craziest earnings reactions. They're pretty decent, though. But you have a lot of tension built up here, a lot of consolidation. So I think that, 27.50 at a minimum, $30 for sure if that's broken. All right, so Toast, I don't know what the A lab is, but we'll just look at it for fun. Does that have options? It is in danger of potentially punching back underneath 69.50, where your first target would be 52.42. Do they have options? Let's see. More expensive, $50. They're only they're only $30. Not bad. Risk to reward on those is pretty good. The upside, obviously, that's new high. I'd just be aiming for $100, which those are pretty expensive. The upside contracts are pretty jacked up. So, all right. Well, that commences for today. After the close tomorrow, we've got a long list. Uber already retesting the 73.88 floor, and on your way back down to possibly retest this 70.13. Again, I kind of want to see clarity here. I'm not seeing a ton of it. So whatever this whatever this weekly candle is as of right now, because that's fixing to change really quickly. You have wicks coming off of that same point of 73.70. On the weekly, the structure up above you is actually here at 77. So that's a possible where you could even wick down, bounce off of 69.37, and then still move up and go and touch that mark. To the downside, the only structure underneath you would be all the way here at 62.30. But there's a lot of empty space on Uber to the downside. I think that it would be 60.50 if it does lay down big time. But Uber is not always the greatest earnings mover. Definitely move. Yeah, that's decent. Definitely if it's an open range, which that's exactly what that was. So that's exactly what I'm looking for. Same concept there. So you have a lot of volume up above you. I don't know if the risk to reward is there on that one. Yeah, and those contracts are inflated. So, all right, next one is Shopify. Now that has empty space. That has a floor. That has resistance. All right. You know what? I gotta change this damn music, bro. It's just making me sleepy for real. All right. So you did recover a floor here. This was structure previously. It's not a punchback. I'm just looking because we don't have anything. This is right here. 78.87, and then there's the kind of confluential target with empty space up above you to 82.36, but earnings definitely rips. Yeah, earnings definitely could. Oh yeah, true. And there's a lot of empty space up there. I kind of want to take that just off the fucking muscle. What are we doing here? 90 is the top, and those are $50. There's a fuck ton of empty space up to 105, but 90s. I'll throw a little bit of money at that. Those are a little bit more expensive than I usually buy, but and then downside, you bounced off of that. So underneath that, I think you'd move into the 56.30s, $56 area. So right here and here. Interesting. Yeah. Fuck it. I'll grab a little bit. All right, so that's Shopify. Affirm. Oh my God. Don't make me do it. I will say this shit is. Oh man, I don't even know, dude, if I want to touch this shit. Let me look at the contracts first before I even start diving into the analysis. There's so much volume built into this to the upside. Excuse me. This target's still ringing true down to 26.22, but I can't ignore the structure up above us. So $40.13 as well as 42.75. If you squeeze out, I guess we're looking at the top of that resistance around $60. They don't even have contracts for that. See, on that shit where it's just not clear, maybe I'll grab like 55s just in case something crazy happens, but because it has a lot. It's got. I mean, this is sideways tension. It's gonna pop one way or another. All right. All right. So I'm gonna do Toyota, and then I'm gonna go ahead and call it. What is the fucking ticker? TM. That's right. Super illiquid. Mm-hmm. Equities or options are probably shit. Good bounce there. Still empty space up to 247.34 on earnings. It does react okay. Not really, actually. I lied. Yeah, that one's not. I'm not even. I wouldn't even consider that one. So, although it's probably gonna rip fucking ass. It's in a controlled downtrend here. So I'll probably. I don't even think I've ever looked at Toyota contracts in my life. TM. Let me see. Oh, they're cheap, but that's because they go out to 270s and 280s and 300s. Why'd they write so many options so far out, dude? That's fucking crazy. 290s. Whatever. All right, guys. So that's it. We do have more interesting earnings coming after hours tomorrow. Like I said at the beginning of the week, kind of focused on some earnings this week. Duolingo, Airbnb, Hood, which they just had a big leg down the other day. ARM obviously has a ton of empty space up there. So it could be some position taking opportunities. The trade desk actually does pretty well. Exact Sciences and ET. So um, that concludes this earnings breakdown.